What's going on, everybody? How are you doing today? It is August 13th, a Thursday, the last JJR of the week. We're coming to you live from the Roosevelt Studios here in the Bronx. That's rsvlts.com/Jomboy. Get yourself some fun shirts. I'm wearing one. Jake, you're wearing your Breckenridge, Colorado shirt. Yeah. I always like that shirt. I'm worried it's going to fade. I might try and find you another shirt of that color when it starts to fade.
Better not. This is, I'll go completely opposite of what you just said. This is my most comfy shirt. So this will be get ridden into the ground. And that was my game plan when I was putting on a shirt today. Because I had a little bit yesterday. Yeah, your Miller Lite shirt.
This is my most comfortable shirt.
Look at that. Same great minds, they say. Yeah, dude, I just had that period between, like, normal work day and the game yesterday. I was just like hot and uncomfortable. I was like, I'm wearing my most comfy shirt today. So I'll probably go Roosevelt over the top, probably throw on the hat later.
I like these shirts as over the top shirts. If we have a ton of extra larges, so I'm not even taking this off. We'll give it away. I mean, this one's really loud, but I don't know. I feel just like a little more dressy, a little more like it's a show costume or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's in like the top 50% of loudness in our Roosevelt's collection.
It's one of those where from far it's not that loud, but I mean if you get
once you get in there, I mean
close.
You've got Doc from Back to the Future staring you. It was a pretty ridiculous movie character in and of itself, so doing all right, man. Doing all right. We put in the full shift yesterday, licking our wounds a little bit, fighting through Thirsty Thursday. Nothing a few beers can't clear up. It's not true. It was nicer out today. If the sun was out, I think I would have been more worn down.
I don't know what the weather was. I barely went outside. I think I don't remember the car ride here. That's weird.
A little bit.
Yeah, I don't remember. Oh, yeah, I do. Me and a bus almost collided. That was scary.
Okay.
I'm tired, man. I woke up at 8. That's usually when I leave my apartment. So we had said, I had said on my show, you said it on your show, we said it to each other. We got to figure out a new way to handle these. I don't know what it is. I don't know if days that we were going late, I do the morning show. I don't come in early those days, you know,
right.
So it's not a 14-hour day at the office, or the turnaround time gets changed, and I do the morning. I'd like prep a morning show, but I don't think I can handle the get home at 1 with a lot of like wired energy from being silly on Talking Yanks.
Yeah,
don't fall asleep till 2. Try to wake up at 7 and come back and do another 3-hour slate of shows in the morning.
Look back at it. Yeah, just
and
there's no on switch. Like it's there, but there's no like second gear.
Yeah, I mean, I think now I'm like, I think I just did a great morning show because I was looped out of my mind.
So maybe that's what we need more of.
I know.
Push you to the bone.
I'm kind of being serious though. I do think dude, every time I go try to find the Yankees schedule, it gives me to the simulated season, and it's like, why?
Yeah, it looks like they end with a late one in Boston. Then we've got some afternoon games.
If anyone wants to know what's different, there's no getaway games this year.
Yeah.
Because there's no fans in the stands, and there's not crazy travel schedules.
They're coming up, but we just haven't had them at all yet.
Usually the last game of the series is a day game. You record the podcast, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and you get home. When the last game of the series is like, this was like a rare thing last year where we had to record at 11 p.m.
Yeah.
It used to be, with few exceptions, like if they had a Sunday night game. That's kind of the only time.
It was if they're on ESPN, yeah. So, yeah, we got Monday night's going to be brutal. So, like, that's where I need to make a game plan for Monday.
A little bit of an audible.
Because if we're less than 7 days away from today and I end up doing this again, I'm going to be like, come on, man.
I don't think Zach knows this yet. Probably making him edit Sharp Stats next week. Because that Tuesday for me is going to be bad if we're doing the late Monday. Tuesday's a long day.
Yeah.
He bugs Zach.
Probably what's going to happen.
Zach.
Get a second lead singer already for your band.
Looks like we have 2 nice getaway days, but then we do have like a late Wednesday, but an off day Thursday. But that's not an off day for us. So
Right.
we'll figure this out.
We'll figure it out. For now, we'll just bring the noise. Ate one of my big sausage, egg, and cheese Sammys.
Come on, bring the noise.
Was literally just a half hour off time-wise. Like I was sitting in the Jomboy Media Common area eating my brekkie sandwich, put on MLTV in the background, MLB TV, just to see if anything pops up that might be interesting. And then I was like, all right, finish my sandwich. Let me get in and set up some stuff. And it's 9:30. I was like,
Oh, so you were here.
I was here.
Oh, yeah. I just slept an extra hour. Like, I try to get up at 6:30. If that doesn't work, and on days like today, I don't even set that alarm. I'm like 7:30.
Same.
That's the latest I'll get up. I'll get up, shower. I need to be out the door at 8. But then I woke up at like 8:06, and I was like, oh, no. So I took a freezing cold shower because I needed to wake up. Went straight to the car, said bye to Katie and Mac. Mac was very excited to see me. And I came here.
Nice.
Almost got hit by a bus.
Maybe we'll do something with passing Wednesday, August 26th. It's the Yankees' next 2-game set with Atlanta.
I like that.
And it's the last game's an ESPN game.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe I'll send that now. Look at that, people. The JJR crew, you get to see some ish.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the guy that did interiors on Pimp My Ride. Because we tried to get him. He's busy.
Is his name Ish?
Yeah. He's the star of that show.
Nice. What else was I going to say to you, man? I had other things to say.
Say it, baby. Say it.
I'm really excited for the morning show tomorrow, just to let you know.
Okay. Like that.
It's all one theme. The town, the player, the song, the doc. I do documentaries on Fridays instead of books. All one theme. Excited about it.
Okay.
I made Robbie go get me a coffee today, and I feel
Wow.
I feel so bad about it.
D-bag crew.
I know. I was like, can you? I was like, dude.
You know what the worst part was? You said, hey, Temp, get a coffee.
Yeah. Give me a fucking coffee, Robbie. No, I felt bad. I was like, I can get my own coffee. He's like, no. It was nice, but needed it. I wish the good coffee place was on my walk. It's not.
What's a good coffee place?
Sheridan.
Yeah? They got good coffee there? Good Joe?
The iced coffee from the other places is just yesterday's coffee that they let sit out.
Daddy like.
Yeah. Anything else? I mean, there's not much banter. We've been on camera for the last, 12 hours.
Yeah, I mean, the what we've missed from each other is
literally
getting
sleep.
home and sleeping, yeah.
Have any snacks?
I got picked up in snacks. Well, I just ate one of our peanut butter bars.
I had a smoothie. Robbie got me a smoothie, and that's it.
I had a cookie when I got home.
I had a full, big van Uber last night.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know, 2 full row van by myself. Which
You're not
is kinda
talking
nice.
to the Uber guys, are you?
No.
Okay. Because you like getting yourself into conversations with people.
I don't.
You do.
Those
you
people
accidentally
like
do.
getting me into those conversations.
You crack the door and then people slam it open.
I'll say hi to someone if they say hi to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but that normally doesn't happen in Ubers a lot, especially with clamdemic stuff going on.
No. Yeah. Doesn't.
And yeah, I mean, I went straight to the back and I was like, this is kind of nice.
All the way back in the van.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
yeah.
really nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. Did you see the video? And I know you're my animal guy.
Sure.
Did you see the video of the bobcat and the alligator?
I did not.
I don't know. I don't think it's I'm not trying to show you this for you to dislike it.
Okay.
It's a cool video. BBD, if I send you the link, do you think you'd be able to put it on?
I can put it on the screen. Sound is not happening, but
That's fine. The sound
just need the visual.
The sound is just this kid doing play-by-play because it's in his backyard while his PlayStation does the loading sound whatever.
Okay.
I just put the video there. It's
Abe giving away teasers in the chat.
yeah, it's pretty cool. And then I felt bad for the alligator.
Right. I'm hearing it's a baby gator from Abe.
Tiny baby gator.
Okay.
It might be a baby bobcat too. If I don't know the
Okay.
size of a bobcat. Here, look.
That looks like a big bobcat. Oh, no.
The guy in the video was like, that gator could have bit my dog, so thank you to the bobcat. That's a fair fight for a while. Imagine this happening in your backyard,
Yeah.
and then that's where the bobcat gets it.
Where is this?
Florida.
Yeah. Oh,
Just comes up with it in its mouth like that.
yeah.
I mean, nature is nature. Baby gators are going to get eaten by bobcats, but not a fight I would have expected to see.
Yeah.
You know? Kind of crazy.
Yeah, I don't like it. Just like a lot of the other animals eating animal stuff.
Thought about that other video.
Yeah.
I was blown away by it. I was like, whoa.
I mean, there's always an entertainment value when you see two animals fight that you didn't even know they interacted.
Yeah, that's the point.
I
yeah.
get that point of it.
No idea, but I was like, whoa. That's cool. That's cool. All right, you want to go straight into the sports?
Is it in the sports? The Olivia Munn says Aaron Rodgers was bad at sex. Did you see that going around?
That's so rude. Why say that?
She didn't say that verbatim, but she fed into it. She says one of her last boyfriends was like bad at sex.
I mean, that just makes her look bad. You remember all those photos she sent in like the spandex and stuff? It was like, lick me here, hit me there.
Sent those to BBD.
If like a girl's sending me those photos and like that type of girl is going to have terrible things to say about me, how could you keep up with that?
I think you're a passionate lover, and that's some of the stuff she's saying is that one of her exes, she doesn't say who, they're not.
Not
Man,
passionate?
I wonder how I
Not
would react
passionate.
if I received those photos.
Yeah.
I have no idea, man.
Send your photos to BBD.
I'm
I
on
just
a
gotta find
website.
out how I'd react.
Yeah.
I'm on a website right now that is trying to tell this story, and it
Not doing a
brutal.
great job.
If that's a different thing, if she said he wasn't passionate enough versus straight bad.
She was saying he wouldn't go like down on her and like he'd hone. I don't know.
Jeez, she
And,
said he was worthless.
Could have been about anyone.
It left her feeling worthless.
So. It's not
Swear
nice.
to God, I'm like, I regret every time I have fake moan because these guys are out there feeling so fucking confident. I have this one in particular that was just the worst at having sex. In fact, he went down on me twice during the years we were together, and I asked him once and said, why don't you ever go down? But by the way, I don't want you to. But I'm just wondering why, because I feel like most guys I can't get out of my vagina, and I'm like, you have to fake it all the time.
Been there.
Weird. Oh, she was on a podcast with Whitney. That's where this happened.
Whitney Cummings?
Some gal talk.
Yeah.
Sucks if it's not Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
It's like some high school boyfriend she had that's not famous at all. Aaron's sitting there like, what?
Be funny if she has to come out and be like, it wasn't Aaron Rodgers. But I think she's trying to say it was.
Yeah. Well, I mean, oh, fuck. Can we talk in parentheses?
Maybe. Depends what you're about to say.
Mute my mic real quick.
You guys just talking over, so yeah, talking in parentheses, none of that counts. And I'm gonna unmute. They're not gonna say it, I don't think.
We're not going to say it.
We're avoiding that. Cool.
I'm not going to say it.
Olivia Munn's attractive.
Yes.
Is she your favorite Olivia?
We're
did
not
this.
doing this. Not doing this. Luckily, someone just mentioned Olivia Wilde in the chat right before you said that, which made me flash back to all of the Olivias.
Rank these Olivias.
And luckily, I had a physical reaction when I read the name Olivia Wilde after talking about Olivia Munn, because I thought about ranking the Olivias.
Yeah, rank these Olivias?
It's kind of like an inside puke.
Rank these Olivias.
My body puked.
A lot of people had Munn first. I think I had Wilde first, or I had Munn first, I forget. A lot of Olivias out there. Okay, let's go to the sports.
Baseball. Jose Altuve. Jimmy's going to sit for a couple days. He's been struggling at the plate. Dusty thinks he's really getting affected. It's in his head. People having fun with that. Joe Kelly, suspension reduced to 5 games. How about that? Are we still mad about it? Do we care? I don't know.
That's fair.
Giannis, 1-game suspension for headbutting Mo Wagner. In comparison to Joe Kelly, that seems suspicious. Giannis, there's actually some kind of fun caveats around that. George Kittle calls out fake report of contract extension with 49ers. And then, yeah, man, there's just a lot of baseball. Playoff hockey last night. Patrice Bergeron, game winner, double overtime, Jim.
Bro of the night. Welcome back from the sports update given to you by Jake. Good job, Jake. You want to talk about Joe Kelly? Seems like he's the biggest story because he had a bunch of quotes as well.
Yeah, he was talking a little bit, Jim.
Mm-hmm. I'm interested. He said him on a podcast. I want to hear how he said it.
Ross Stripling's podcast, right?
Yeah, that's always changes.
Future friend.
If you hear how they said it, I wish there was a timestamp or something. But first, let's just talk about his suspension. It's dropped to 5 games. I think that's fair. Him and Ramon gets 6. He gets 5. Ramon did worse than Joe Kelly. I don't even think Joe Kelly should have been suspended at all. So, mostly because the ump's on the field. Like, headhunting's not good.
Right.
And he shouldn't intentionally throw at people. And if he does say it was intentional and these comments might hurt him, I wonder if these comments came out before or after the appeal got lowered. But Laureano deserved more time than Kelly. Laureano gets 6 games. Kelly gets 5. For a reliever, that's really like 2 and really like 2 innings versus 30 whatever innings. Or
yeah, I think the bigger thing
and
something that we were on, but we kind of had blinders up is it's MLB with these is sending a message. And for Joe Kelly, they sent a message because you're right. He didn't hit anyone.
The umps on the field didn't give a warning or anything.
He didn't get ejected.
But they probably give a warning, but they didn't eject him or anything like that.
Joe Kelly, they were sending a message about throwing at the Astros. With Ramon Laureano, we thought they were going to send a message to him that you can't be fighting this year and you can't be doing it. Luckily, wiser heads prevailed, and they made the example out of the coach. Because you can't bait a player in the heat of battle and give him the international fight sign.
Yep.
So that was a good thing. So, yeah, I mean, this is fine. I mean, it's still a little silly, but again, Joe Kelly is the example, and Ramon Laureano turns not to be the example, which is funny. But, yeah, no, it's fine. And, yeah, you're right with podcast quotes. I mean, we're, especially us, we're going to be careful. But, yeah, I mean, the words I'm reading, it seems like he wasn't being too shy. Looks like he was using some provocative language.
Kelly said, cheating, they cheated. Everyone knows they're cheaters. They know they're cheaters. It's over. That's been there, done that. But now they mess it up by ruining other people's lives. So they fucked up twice. When you taint someone's name to save your own, that is one of the worst things that you could probably do. That really freaking bugs me. I think I'll be irritated forever. Whose name did they taint? Oh, Carlos Beltran.
I think Beltran core, letting the front office people all take the hit. And Beltran. negotiating their own immunity.
Not super false.
Kelly said, yeah, man, I wonder how much Kelly is taking on this role because he's getting a lot of praise for it and he enjoys this role versus how much he genuinely, and I think that they're very close to the same. I think he genuinely feels this way.
Right.
And he likes this role. But it I don't know. If he comes out like with one other thing, I think we may be tipping the scale where Joe Kelly's just enjoying this.
I see what you're saying, and I was on that a little bit, and I even inquired about Laureano. Like, I wondered if there was 1% when he's on first base and says, hey, if I charge the A's dugout, I'm going to get loved by 29 other fan bases. With Kelly, I think you're right. I think a little bit ties in, especially that 3-0 fastball, the one pitch that looked like he definitely threw at the Astros. This one's tough for me because let's say you're Ross Stripling. You're on the Dodgers. You're a pitcher. You've got a podcast. Mm-hmm. I mean, the first thing you're doing is grabbing Joe Kelly.
And you want him to say, and you want to. So
yeah.
I want to hear the tone.
Yeah.
It feels dumb to talk on it without the tone, especially this show where when we do the news stories, we're literally just saying things we don't really care or believe in. So when the owner of HireAHitman.com listens to our segment on HireAHitman.com, I'm like, hey, man, I hope you know the tone of that is complete jokes and not serious. So, yeah, out of context stuff. But, hey, a lot of these quotes are pretty easy to agree with. And all that. Someone else, another Talking Baseball listener, not Quentin Hubner, who's always there, and he always says it too, is like, hey, man, a lot of Astros fans don't like Cintron and don't. It's just your comments. And I'm like, yeah, I know. But it's hard to ignore my feed when it's nothing but that.
Oh, yeah.
Good on MLB for reducing it?
Yeah, I mean, it's luckily with the Laureano thing happening, this is such an after note thought that nobody cares at this point. I'm guessing a majority of baseball people probably thought the suspension was already served.
Could have been.
Joe Kelly, not a closer. If you want, he can be a high leverage reliever for you. I mean, in a 5-game stretch for the Dodgers, he might be missed once.
Now with Gratterall doing what he's doing.
Rooster. So
Joe Kelly's having a really good season.
The Joker.
6.1 innings pitched, 0 earned runs.
Bang.
5 Ks, 5 walks. Joe Kelly.
Top headline on ESPN calls Astros snitches and rats. That's reporting, babe.
Everything was handled pretty poorly. Them getting immunity to tell the truth, and then the Astros doing that, and the commissioner offering that. It was a lose-lose.
I think
they went about it. I mean, I think at this point, even Manfred and everyone involved knows I think if they had a do-over, they'd do it. I think they realized when the spring training started, oh, we really messed this up.
I mean, their biggest thing was I think there's a lot to navigate, and people were wondering, how rampant different things were through the sport and blah, blah, blah. And like you said, they're so big on not asterisks or taking away the World Series, blah, blah, blah. They weren't going to do that. Man, they would redo it. I think Manfred would be honest about that, because I think the biggest thing was he expected the Astros players to take their licks. Be like, yeah, we cheated. The temptation was too much. We did it. We had that fire to win, so we went for it. And, we regret it. That never happened.
Yeah.
They went backs against the wall even harder and were like, well, we're going to win this year, bitches.
When we win this year, you're all shut up.
Well, yeah, go do that, guys. But
now I have a question for you.
Yeah. Sure.
You and I, we talk all this game about being big, tough guys.
I'm tough.
We are maybe two of the more empathetic people out
pathetic.
there. were pretty. You were raised by a mom and a sister. I had two sisters and a mom. We're definitely, I don't know, mama's boys. Or,
Oh, yeah. I'm the most pathetic man in the world.
Yeah.
Oh.
Are you starting to feel bad for Altuve?
No.
I am. Even if he did cheat, and that's the reason he's struggling,
Comma.
I still am.
No, comma. And I'll tell you why. Because it's baseball. I don't think this is a full Altuve cheat thing falling apart. I think it's still really early in the baseball season. Look at Gary. Look at Glaber. Like, there's a lot of good guys in baseball who don't have it figured out.
Even then, it would be Altuve. Like, this not because of the cheating. I'm just in a slump right now. Even that version, I'm like, man, that sucks.
No, because I think he kind of deserves to feel that a little bit. Like, if that's again, go back to the consequences. That's your consequence.
Yeah. But
that you have to feel bad about slumping like every other baseball
the picture
player
of him
does.
Sitting in the stands alone. It's like, man.
Yeah.
Tough times for Altuve right now.
That's 2020. And that was, again, a take that I think I'm going to end up looking good at some point. And again, like, I think he's going to kick back into gear. Like, I want to bet against Altuve at this point. Is that little shortstop who's had a little bit of an injury history. And, you know, the Pedroia example isn't perfect. But just look at Petey Pedroia. And this happens with a lot of ball players. It's not just little guys. But I think there's an amplification factor when Altuve and Pedroia had to be so special at their size to do what they do that when you hit 30 and the skills start to go down a little bit and you have an injury history, I mean, I'll go get Petey's numbers because I mean they'll shock you. And again, he's a very extreme example because it did fall off the cliff, but this can happen with players. And I think, you know, the numbers are going to come out. Altuve's numbers post cheating scandal 2020 and on. And they're not going to be close to his old numbers. And I think that was probably going to happen with his career anyways. But people are going to lean in hard to that. So
the breaking ball numbers look bad right now.
Oh, yeah.
That graph is pretty funny. The swing and miss at breaking ball is like... So, wild. Whenever you see a guy going through that, and he probably doesn't have many people to talk to... But I mean, he deserves it all. If he did,
that's the bigger thing is that like someone on the Astros, one of their main guys, was going to be hitting in the 100s at this point in the season. Like that's just how baseball works. And I think the funnier scene is, you know, early in the season when they're trying to figure it out. It's Bregman, Altuve, Correa, Springer all looking at each other like, so who is it going to be, huh? Which one of us is going to get off to the bad start and get killed? And it turns out to be Altuve, who is, you know, probably the most well-known face of that crew, just because he was the little guy MVP.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I think a couple more weeks, and then I might feel bad.
All right. It'd be funny if he just starts sitting alone the whole time. Something went wrong here. Giannis is the other story. He gets suspended one game. And I have to do a breakdown on this today, so I need all your knowledge.
Sure.
He headbutted the dude, and they suspended him for one game, which is just the last game of the regular season and holds no meaning to anything.
Yes. So, we talked about this a little bit in the Jomboy Lounge yesterday. I think it was mostly me and Keith. But this was tricky. Because, Jimmy, we've seen this in baseball before. CC Sabathia, that last game against the Rays, that's for you, bitch.
Yeah.
And they suspend him for regular season games the next year, right?
Yeah.
NBA and their opening day and everything is so big. Like, NBA blows it out. You know, it's LeBron versus Giannis, or it's, you know, whatever the matchup is. You know, NBA opening nights are stars. So they couldn't ban Giannis for next year. Mm-hmm. And they weren't going to ban him for any playoff things. So the best they could do was give him the final game of this bubble season, which means nothing, and give him a fine. But, yeah, good time to headbutt someone by Giannis.
It's a good headbutt. It's like I got in a fight with my cousin once, and he was running at me, and all I did was stick my foot up in the air. I didn't kick him.
No.
he ran into my foot.
Right.
I just threw up a defense. Dude, it's kind of like, it's a little bit of a headbutt, but it's more like they were gonna meet in the middle.
He thought that they were gonna head hug. He
Yeah.
thought that Mo Wagner, if at this point on the freeze frame where they're just about to make contact, if Mo Wagner leans in for the head hug, there's almost not a problem. By Mo Wagner going back,
Mo's walking into him.
Yeah.
Mo's probably thinking, I'm about to go chest to chest with this dude.
Yeah.
And Giannis is just saying, I'll probably make my head the farthest
head
thing out.
hug.
Yeah. Like, look. Like, they're about to hit chest.
Right. They're
And
still peaceful.
This is probably what I say in the breakdown. At here, Giannis is saying, well, I'll make my head the furthest thing out instead of my chest, and just leans a little bit.
Yeah. It's a tilt.
It's not really a follow through.
It's a tilt.
It's kind of like, if you're going to walk into me, walk into my head.
Again, talking with Keith about this, I love a good head hug. Our Chiefs friends used to do that all the time. You lean in, you start rubbing up. It's kind of a sign of endearment.
Neck in, getting hot and heavy.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's funny that Wagner leans back. It does look like not a bad headbutt, but a headbutt. And, yeah, I mean, their hands were tied, man. You know, you have to do something.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Giannis. He's a star of stars. You're not going to suspend him for opening day next year. So, yeah, you hit him with 1 game and a fine.
1 game and a fine. That's the first time watching it. I've had it downloaded and ready to go, but it's not that bad. It's not really a headbutt. It is, but it's more, here's my head. Check it out.
Here's my head.
George Kittle calls out report that says 49ers will announce 6-year, $94.8 million contract extension with George Kittle on Friday. And he says, y'all believe everything you read on the internet, huh?
Huh.
When this usually happens, there's like a slight detail that's wrong. Like Nightingale saying it's a 5-game suspension instead of a 6-game suspension.
Right.
And everyone's like, Nightingale, you idiot. And it's like,
blew it.
like if this comes out that Kittle does announce a contract extension, is there news? Is there update?
I don't know about news, but when I was walking to my car this morning, I did see another report of the same numbers.
Yeah, I would.
It was just weird timing.
I know nothing about anything here, but when players call out reporters like this, it's usually because they got something like it's 94.1 million, not 94.8, or it's a 5-year deal, not a 6-year deal.
Like, no,
like
I got the full 100.
I got the full 100.
Yeah.
Like a slight detail, you know. And sometimes it's really fun when reporters get called out, like Wainwright saying, how do you guys have this when none of the players have this? And
Right.
I'm head of our union for the team, for the Cardinals. That's fun. I think sometimes players, they go a little semantical and like call out like, you know, if this gets reported, it's probably going to be something slightly is off. So Kittle can still say, well, you're reporting nonsense. And
Well, it looks like 15 minutes ago, Ian Rappaport, blue check, one of the NFL guys, George Kittle in agreement for 5 years, 75.
so the numbers were just wrong.
Yeah.
That's pretty wrong, though.
I mean,
That's
a
pretty wrong.
year and
A lot of money.
a year and almost 25 mil off. So, maybe he was kind of sad he didn't get that money. So
Yeah.
it's like, screw you guys.
Yeah.
I wish I
The
did.
guy that's probably what Kittle asked for, and they said no.
Yeah.
He's like, you believe that they gave me that?
Yeah. Well, that's big enough that he can tweet that and say, that's so wrong. I wonder if that is what he asked for. Now he's just like annoyed that like he sees
That's
that.
what's out.
Well, I wonder what all the responses were, because that's probably what got him going. Maybe people are like, that's too much, and then he's like, well, how about this? It's a little less.
What about right here?
You guys like me now? How you like me now? The last thing we have here is that the Astros are sitting Altuve, but we knew that. So who's going to play in his place? Toro?
Bang. Abraham, where's Toro?
I think it's also they have like an off day anyway coming, so it's like steal him a double off
Yeah.
day, reset.
The double rest.
Probably could have just done it and not said it ahead of time.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, maybe it's just for him to not have to field questions.
Yeah.
So get the questions out now. Altuve's sitting the next 2 days. He's completely unavailable. He's taking like a mental head check. Maybe that's why you would announce it now.
Yeah.
Let's get him.
It's not the worst move ever.
We're
It's
figuring
just
out
kinda
our-
not the way people do it right now.
Figuring out our new buzzer situation, so
Yeah. I told you he's getting it tattooed into his body.
give us some space at this time.
They tried to move him to leadoff, or did Springer get hurt? Springer took... Okay, so Springer missed like 5 games, so they moved Altuve to leadoff. That didn't do anything for him. So they got Reddick as their 2-hole hitter now. How about that?
Reddick's got off to a decent start. I'm looking at the stats right now. Springer's still hitting 188.
Yeah. But Bregman's doing good because that's the core. Those are the 3,
Bregman's doing good.
according to all the rumors that
Right.
I've heard. Correa wasn't part of the buzzer crew. It was the 3 of them, and that was the core.
Bregman's a big
Allegedly, rumors.
Bregman's a big series away from being where his stat should be. Correa's off to a nice start. Brantley's Brantley-ish. Yeah, I mean Springer's in the contract year. Connecticut guy, interested to see how it sorts out a little bit because he's gotta pump those numbers up a little bit. And yeah, I mean Altuve's the $187, 598 OPS.
Toro.
Maybe Almides Diaz or Jack Mayfield get some at bats. Jim, your guys.
Abe Toro. Canadian. How about that?
Where's Toro?
It's a good name. Ooh, his middle name is... How would you pronounce Abraham Toro's middle name?
Jose, something like that.
Josue? Like Suede? Josuede. Anyway, that's the sports. Hockey? What happened? Should I start paying
Hockey.
attention?
No. So I think they officially started like the first round of the playoffs. Like I think they kind of did a semi-play-in playoff type thing with the extra teams.
There's some teams doing something and other teams doing nothing.
Yeah, they had a bye, and now I think the bye's over, and everybody's doing the first round. I don't know. There was a double OT. Patrice Bergeron had the game winner in double OT, and I was like, that's one of the hockey names you recognize.
Mm-hmm. Josue is how Abe said it.
Sway.
That's cool.
Yeah, man. I don't know. 16 years with the Bruins. It's pretty
Crazy.
cool.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's been good for a lot of them.
I'm not hating on hockey. I'm just not paying attention right now.
It's tough to get into.
I usually love playoff hockey. I
Yeah.
don't watch regular season NHL.
I'm thinking the conference finals. That's what we've been saying on Wake and Jake. We'll see. I mean, you've only got 2 series to track.
Katie did move the cable into our bedroom, so maybe I can, when she falls asleep, I can put it on mute and watch some games.
Hockey.
Hockey. All right, let's go to the halftime. This was originally 3 whistles, but someone told us that halftime is only 2. Remember that? So we changed it. Oh, it's an official halftime whistle. If you're a first-time listener, thanks. It's episode number 252. At halftime for the month of August, producer BBD will be telling us about a rodent. Last month it was ice cream. This week it's rodents. You guys can decide what September will be. And then the second half of the show, we do weird news. I don't know why. Today I chose there's going to be a lot of new listeners that don't understand the format.
Yeah.
Oh, Teach reached out, and he said he'd love for us to do like voicemail ups again. Remember we used to do voicemail
We
ups
used
on
to
here?
mix that in.
I think there was like a voicemail of the week or something.
I think we did it
Was
on
it a full
Fridays.
episode?
I think we did it on Fridays.
For a small sample of time.
I think we only like 5 times.
Yeah.
Well,
I remember it happening.
we
That
can
wasn't
try.
fun.
We can do a voicemail up.
Or at least
Maybe
like a voicemail of the week or something.
maybe we'll make a voicemail line, and people can call in whenever they want. Like we won't do themes, and it'll just be like pretty choosy. Like you would have to be like, "This is a good one. Let's do this." Very easy and loose with it. Anyway, what's the rodent today?
Let's see. Well, I had one picked out, but I kind of don't like it anymore.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
How many rodents have you liked?
None of them really, but
Okay.
as far as for content for the show, I think today I got to burn one of the big boys.
Okay.
And by big, I mean just one of the obvious ones.
Rat.
Close. It's, well, whatever the real word for mouse is. MUS is technically the species name. There was a mouse sighting last night for the people that were not in our live stream last night that may not have heard.
Mouse.
Mouse is somewhere around here.
Animal.
I don't know.
Mouse.
I wonder if it's the same mouse or it's a different mouse.
He's a cute mouse.
He's a little
nothing.
guy.
Yeah. Will mice eat dead mice? That's a question that comes up when you Google fun facts about mice.
That's right in your wheelhouse.
They likely start with the weakest and kill and eat them. So yeah.
Yep.
Oh. Don't like that picture I just got.
Have you ever seen the the mouse trap with the bucket of water? DVD, have you ever seen that?
Mousetrap bucket of water.
Yeah.
Is there like a specific video or just have I seen it in general?
It's this contraption that people use in barns, I think, for rats too. There's overlays of it, and you get like a sand bucket, right? Or any gallon pail, and you screw holes in the sides of the gallon pail, and then you put a piece of wood, like a spindle. So then you put cheese in the middle of the spindle, and basically what happens is the mouse climbs up the side of the bucket, smells the cheese, goes onto the wooden spindle, and then that spins and drops the mouse into the water. There's this video this guy did. I think it was rats, not mice, but he caught like 10. He just had a bucket of 10 drowned rats in his barn, and he did like a night vision montage. But like that trap is some gangster stuff.
Yeah.
Ugh.
The trap game gets confusing. I don't know what I want, because obviously none of us want the mouse here, but I definitely don't.
Right.
But I also don't like the inhumane traps.
It's tough. It's a tough
Sticky
line
traps,
to
we
walk.
kind of talked ourselves into being really mean. Obviously, the drowning trap is pretty sick.
If you're interested in it, just Google bucket mouse trap, and the first one is 11 mice in one night. The rolling log mouse trap in action. And, yeah, it's crazy. I
Pretty
remember
early picture in my Google image search was it's just a mouse it had just gotten into like a traditional mouse trap and just.
Now, a lot of people
I was like, I don't like the picture of that.
No.
Like, that's the best trap, I think, because it's quick. I think it's quick. I assume they die pretty immediately.
A lot of people have been saying get a cat to get rid of the mouse. I'd firmly rather a mouse than a cat.
Team mouse over cat.
I'd rather a small
I'm allergic to
little
cats,
mouse rather than a large rat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm allergic to cats as well. Like terribly allergic. Like, don't
Mine's
go
not
to
terrible,
my relative's
but like if I'm at
house when
someone's
they have a
house
cat.
and they have a cat and I'm there for like more than an hour or so.
I
then
can't
get
stay.
itchy.
Can you stay?
I could power through it, but my eyes will be itchy and I won't be happy I did it.
Yeah, my face right here
I'll
will
live.
be
My
like,
dad would. Yeah, my dad gets. Really
yeah,
bad.
my face will be bloated, my eyes will be red, and I'll just be like this the whole time. I can't. So it's like
I haven't put myself in the situation a little bit. It could have gotten worse or better with age. I don't know. Like my spring allergies, I think have gotten a little better with age.
I believe it gets worse with age. For me,
I
at
think
least.
cats, it usually gets worse.
I think a lot of allergies, like dairy
Sometimes you
and
outgrow
cat.
it, though.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of times it's like your body hasn't been.
When's the last time you were around a cat?
The last time I went to Brad's house, because when I moved out of Brad's house, they now have 2 cats. And I feel terrible because whenever I come over, they clean, they vacuum, they do like everything. And I'm like, you don't have to do that. That doesn't get the dander out of the air.
It's not
Like
gonna,
you,
it's not going to
Yeah,
change
it's
what
the
affects
dander,
me.
that's the-
yeah. So I always feel bad because they're like, we spent an hour cleaning. You should be good to come over. And I'm like, that doesn't change anything.
Yeah,
Like,
I think that was my last one. We
the
were
cat's in the
I
air.
think we were going to a Red Rocks concert, and they were like, "Yeah, we're going to pregame at this girl's house, and then we'll go to the show." And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then I was like 5 minutes in, and I was like, "You don't have a cat, do you?" And I'm like, yeah. And Jess's head dropped, and was like, "Oh, blew that one." And I was like, oh, "You got a balcony? I'll be out there.
Yeah.
Let me know when we're leaving."
Yeah. I'm really, really allergic.
It's not great. I think I have it a little bit with dogs, but it's definitely not as bad as the cats. I don't know what it is. Or at least I did. I used to go to my friend's house, and I guess he had both.
Someone said just how you looked like on the Michael K show, Jimmy. So funny.
That was funny.
Just this huge.
I haven't looked in a little bit, but as of at least like a month ago when I would Google you, that was still the first thing that came up.
Really? I wonder if the Momentum video comes up now. They paid for like advertising on that.
Right now, it's your Twitter profile picture.
Yeah,
That
you
used to
would
be,
think
like, the
you would think I
default
would
thing.
have to have outgrown that. I think we have more subscribers than Yes Network, right? Yeah, I mean that's a lot more subscribers. Crazy. All right, so mouse was the rodent of the day. It's a good one. It's a safe one.
Yeah.
Timely as well.
Today we're tired. Little mouse.
Little mouse. Jake, what concert at Red Rocks? Quick question from the chat.
No idea. Went to a lot.
So many that blow me away.
Yeah, just straight fire. No, I don't. Rarely knew which one I was going to.
Just showing up.
They were
having
good.
a great time.
They were good.
All right.
I read the news today, oh boy, and though the news was rather sad, well, I just had to laugh.
Well, it's 6 o'clock. Time for the news.
A Florida sheriff is banning masks for his 900-person department. Why? What would be the reason to ban them? COVID-19 lockdowns have led to a huge spike in sex doll sales. Husband discovers wife's affair after spotting her in the act on Google Maps. That blows. An Italian man gets fined over rooster's constant early morning crowing. And a man makes startlingly lifelike statue of his wife for guests to see.
I read the news today, oh boy, and
Interesting. The sheriff is banning masks.
Some pretty brutal quotes coming from the sheriff.
It just seems like, why would that be necessary to ban them? You can make them optional. You don't have to enforce them if you want to be, counterculture to the safety. But why would you ban them?
People are nuts, man.
Like, what if someone wants to wear a mask despite of what? I don't know. Anyway, that's so annoying. Did you see that?
His excuse is his mandate is meant to prevent stifled communication and identification when officers are interacting.
Because everyone's just a ninja when they have a mask on.
I guess so.
Yeah, you can't talk through them.
No way to.
Did you hear about that high school in Oklahoma? Did you see the picture that was going viral?
I saw the one in Florida. I'm not sure about Oklahoma or
maybe
Georgia.
I don't know where it was. I
think Georgia was the one that went viral.
Opened a picture of all the students on the seniors, and now they're like 100 of them have tested positive and are quarantined. What's going on?
I don't know. We BBD subbing day. We talked about it a little bit, and it's like
The first day they had positives and it was 9.
Yeah.
And I think now it's really blown up.
I don't know, man. I don't know what schools are thinking.
But is
Bringing
this like
kids in.
how dumb people are?
Yes.
But isn't that I'm sorry to be, isn't that like really scary?
For the
To-
teachers, yeah.
For scary that those families and those kids and the people who took that picture and decided to open the school, like, they're just so caught up in disagreeing that this is real that they're. I don't.
Or they just get caught up in kids are fine because if you're a young person, you're probably not dying. There's only been a handful, but you're around other people.
But they opened up the school now. There's 100 cases. They're all quarantined. Dude, it's
messed up, man.
it's frustratingly sad that these are adults and people in charge. That I don't know if it's because it's become politicized or it's contagious and it's real and those are facts and it's not like if you see a fucking macho man walking the beach with a red tan because he's too tough for sunscreen, like this is what a whole contingent of our nation is now becoming. That idiot who's gets skin cancer because he thinks he's a pussy if he wears sunscreen. That's like 50% of the damn population now. What are we doing? What an embarrassing country that this is how people handle it. Too macho to wear a mask or act like this is real. It's like if my doctor told me I was allergic to cats and I'd be like, oh, I ain't no pussy. Give me a cat right now. Yeah. And then I started sneezing and the doctor was like, I told you.
Give me extra cats.
It's just like embarrassing, dude.
It's messed up, man. I mean, you know, the sheriff story that where we started on is in the county of Florida that's had like the most deaths or something. So it's I don't know. I don't know if it's the political stuff. I don't know if it's like there's just too much information out there and people want to be dumb or different or whatever it is.
I appreciate that, like, you know, America was built on this fighting spirit. Don't tread on me. Like, you know, you can't control me. I mean, that is how the nation was built. And, like, that does get passed from generations to generations. I was thinking about my great-grandma, and, like, she's old. She died at 100 years old. But I spent a good 25 years sharing stories with her that I'll give to my grandkids. So, like, you know, ideologies get passed from, like, crazy generations. So I appreciate that America is founded on this, like, don't tread on me fighting spirit. You can't tell me what to do. But at some point, we've just developed this society of dumb fucking losers who think that, like, there's machismo in counterculture and there's, like, this lack of, control if they accept what people smarter than them say. And it's so stupid.
It's this weird people don't want to be sheep, but they are sheep. Like, in even them not being the sheep, now that's made them even more sheep. So it's bizarre, man. And it's, it's, you know, you've seen the realization come over me. And I mean, there's probably, you know, the deep JJRers have seen it. You know, I love 4th of July. It's summer. It's baseball. You're at the beach. You're having fun. You're doing activities. And, this was the first 4th of July that was just like, oh. Like, we thought, like, when you saw the U.S. stereotype in a movie, like, if you did a movie with stereotype characters, like the French guy would come in and he'd have, like, the skinny mustache and he'd be smoking a cigarette. And then in our heads, the U.S. character was always like a Texas guy, and he'd come in, guns a-blazing, what are you idiots up to? And we just thought that was like a dumb Texas movie thing.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah.
Like, we are. So, yeah, it's tough, man. It's sad. It sucks. I don't know, hope people start figuring it out a little bit. And I don't know, like, is everything politics now? And that's what it is? Is there going to be like a actual divide in the country at some point? I feel like both sides, whether it's political or not, are like rooting for that at this point. And at this point, why not?
Yeah, both sides are. Politics.
I've got no qualms.
The whole political spectrum sucks.
Start drafting states. That should be the Chappelle Show skit. The Republicans and Democrats should have a draft for states.
It's just sad that people get cocky about being ignorant.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Big time.
Anyway, the lockdowns, because of COVID, have led to a huge spike in sex doll sales. And those are the people doing it right.
Yeah.
Can't go get a hooker like you usually do.
Hey.
Can't go jerk off in a movie theater like you usually do.
It's also evolving technology. Now that the technology's caught up.
What, the sex doll technology?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me more about that.
We didn't have sex dolls.
They've been around forever.
Well, we have, but think about what they were. I mean, literally, how long was the inflatable sex doll in movies?
What's the quote from Old School? Like your girlfriend there, Frank. Yeah, she's nice. I think that's it.
Yeah, I mean,
Just like a good Will
we've
Ferrell.
got VR stuff.
Yeah, she's all right. The sex
Sex
doll
doll
that
in Dave.
in Dave was like, whoa, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I bet. BVD.
Interesting.
I mean, if we were
When
in,
he loaded that
if we
thing in
were
the
in
dishwasher in
college,
Dave.
that was so funny. Like if we were in college, what are the odds that butt sex thing ends up in our house, even as a joke?
High.
Okay.
Well, it depends on the price, but Ken probably would have bought it.
Oh no, I totally forgot the Ken factor. It 100% would have been in our house.
Even as a gag.
Would have been a game of chicken to see who.
I mean, in college when we were young, dumb, we probably would have bought like a man one and put it in someone's room. And
I forget
it's a
Ken
fucked
had-
up joke.
I forgot Ken had no rules.
Yeah. Ken got like a bonus or something, and he had like 60 extra bucks. So we went to the store and we bought Snuggies for the entire house.
Yeah, we probably haven't mentioned Ken in a little while on here. Might see him this weekend. Who knows? His dad owned a pawn shop, so like we just had full access to random stuff, which is the dream at that age.
And a van with no seats in the back.
Yeah.
The sex doll from Dave on Amazon. Do you want to guess what the price is,
$250.
Jake?
I mean, it's America, right? Like, we're talking about the bad sides of America. Let's talk about some of the, we're talking Amazon, cheap product production. It's basically just plastic, right?
You got to think about the people buying this.
$40. I mean, I'm hoping it's a high number, but
$415.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think about the people that
That's
have
good.
committed to buying that. They're going to spend some money.
Okay. I mean, that's what I was hoping for, but I thought there was a world otherwise, too.
You have to make your purchase of the week. Maybe you buy that.
I could.
Make the affiliate link.
I could. Yeah.
Make the affiliate link anyway.
Yeah.
If any of our listeners want to buy the
It's
$400,
the PDX Fuck Me Silly 3.
Ooh.
That's the name of it.
Whammy.
Ow.
The F Me Silly 3.
All right, next story. Husband discovers wife's affair after spotting her in the act on Google Maps. There's a lot of links you have to connect here, and I hope this writer does it. We run into so many bad article writers. Why did he suspect it and follow her on Google Maps? Like, is he just tracing his own directions and saw her? Need to know. When Google Maps launched back in 2000, I don't need to go that farther back. You don't need to explain to me what Google Maps is. Sat on one of the benches is a woman wearing a black top and white shirt with a man in a white jumper laid with his head in her lap. His face is obscured from view and the woman has been blurred out, which is standard practice on Google Maps. But it wasn't enough to stop the woman's husband from recognizing her when he stumbled across the scene back in 2013, spotting her familiar outfit as he explored the streets. The husband reportedly confronted his wife over what he had seen, and she admitted the affair before the couple later divorced. It's not the first time someone has been baffled by finding a Google Maps after one eagle-eyed user was left in stitches when they came across a funny site in the U.S. and was kind enough as to share their findings online for the rest to see. Unfortunately for one woman, it just so happened that the Google car drove down her road at the exact moment she took a fall while digging around in her wheelie bin. You can see the image. What? This kind of jumped all over the place. Honestly.
Yeah.
So this dude was... That's really funny. The bin is really funny. Imagine Google Maps catches you at that time. I don't know if you have that link, BBD, but it's a lady in her driveway who...
In the trash can.
She fell into her trash can.
We've all had our moments.
Probably happened once in her life, and it was at that exact moment the Google Maps car was driving by recording her. Or they saw the Google Maps coming and wanted to do something silly. Either way, it's pretty funny. So this dude was just going around town and saw his wife on the park bench with another man in her lap. Maybe she's a therapist. I guess he would know that as her husband.
You would know that as the husband, and then I don't, not as up-to-date on therapy as I'd like to be, but I don't know if I feel like lap sitting is kind of shunned upon.
Well, it's not lap sitting.
Okay.
like it's laying.
Yeah, I still don't think you're supposed to put your head on your therapist's lap.
Depends on the therapist, but I agree.
I don't think.
I think you can do this in a non-sexual relationship.
Not with like a therapist. A therapist is like a professional relationship.
Well, that was what I
with
was.
someone.
Take that away. If you're a husband and you see this, I think there's a way she could have an excuse. You know. I guess because it's a stranger. If this was just a
someone
friend,
you're very close with.
I'll be a friend. I'll put my head on your lap like that.
Yeah, that's friends.
Yeah.
I mean, it's close friends or family.
Should we see therapists?
I'm open to it. I'm just busy. I'm okay. I'm not gonna jump anytime soon.
I think it'd be hard for me to find the right therapist.
Yeah, there's a lot of BS.
Luke
Luke
told me
right?
to do yoga to de-stress
Read
myself,
some
and Katie
leaves.
was like,
Yeah, we already tried that game.
Katie was like, no, yoga stresses him out. And Luke was like, what?
Yeah,
She was like, he doesn't like when people tell him what to think.
it's very true.
I hate that.
Every damn day, people.
Oh, yoga. If there was a yoga that was just the physical poses, but don't do all the exhale all your bad times and breathe in. We're just going to forget the past.
breathe in
Did I
Shut up.
Leave everything outside.
did I tell you my yoga story?
You don't own my brain.
Let's hear it, David.
What's your yoga story?
In college, there was like yoga every Wednesday or something in the basketball gym. So my friends, they were going. It's like, all right, I'll go for it. Why not? I'll try it. And we were going through, getting everything started. And she was like, yeah. The number one thing I ask of all of you is make sure over this entire period you don't think any negative thoughts at all about yourself, about what you're doing. She's like, oh, you don't know me at all. And I was laughing. And I was laughing at me, of course.
Yeah.
And at the end, she said something to me. She like pointed me at specifically, like, you were laughing when I said that earlier. Because she like circled back on the no negative thoughts. And I was like, oh, it wasn't you. Like, that's
all
on
me.
It's all me.
Yeah.
It's all me, babe. Yeah.
I discovered a illegal horse racing track on Morning the other day,
Okay.
but I don't know if it's illegal.
Ooh.
Someone turned their backyard into a horse racing track, and you can see it on the satellite view. And I was like, what's that?
Yeah.
And we zoomed in. It was kind of cool. I don't know what it is. Underground horse racing track.
Run sprints.
Yeah.
Train them.
Italian man gets fined over rooster's constant early morning crowing. That adds up to me. Like if the
Right?
rooster crows every morning at 5 a.m. and the neighbors complain because of noise violation, and then they give him a warning, and then the rooster continues to crow. I mean, seems pretty normal.
Or like, what's the public disturbance or something like that? Isn't that a phrase?
Yeah.
Disturbing the peace? That's
Yeah,
something. It's rooster.
He explained that the rooster on his property, Carlino, used to live in his garden. The bird had been a constant fixture in the area for 10 years, but Boletti eventually gave him away to a friend after having to deal with complaints from his neighbors.
Oh, no. Boletti's 83 years old.
Boletti temporarily took Carlino back in when the friend who took ownership went on vacation for 20 days. A police officer was sent to stake out Boletti's home after neighbors submitted complaints about the rooster's return. 4:30 a.m. is when it crows. So he had this chicken for 20 years, eventually gave it away, and then the people he gave it to goes on vacation, and he has it for a couple weeks, and then the new neighbors complain. Old head neighbors were probably like, that rooster's been here longer than you.
That sucks, man. I feel bad for this guy. 83-year-old retired bricklayer.
And he said they could have informed me. I hadn't understood.
He looks fantastic. How old's Sterling? 83?
Oh, this guy's quotes are brutal. He says, I can appeal, but where do I go at 83? I will not stop here. I will contact the police headquarters, the prefecture, everyone. Also, because I have made other reports to the municipality on the cutting of private hedges and on the irregular parking spaces that have not received a response. Oh, you're going to respond to my rooster, but you're not going to respond to all my complaints?
Yeah, so that changes the whole story. The the people haven't gone away. He's just mad his other stuff hasn't gotten addressed yet, so he asked for the rooster back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's he fighting for at the end there?
Looks like cutting of private hedges.
And irregular parking spaces. So his neighbors are fucking up the hedges and the parking.
all right.
He's like, you know what, Bob?
If we're not going to do that,
I need that rooster back.
yeah.
He's waking up at 4:25 every morning, feeding the rooster and then poking it with a stick. Rooster's old. Ah. Man.
Carlino's crows were heard at 4:30 a.m. Carlino and Belletti.
Tale as old as time.
What that?
Karnataka industrialist stuns guests with a startling lifelike statue of wife. Srinivas Gupta celebrates housewarming ceremony of his wife's dream home with a life-size silicone statue of her 3 years after her death. Ooh. Oh.
Silicone. 3 years after death.
So he had a housewarming party. So, all right, his wife passed away. She had a dream house mapped out that she wanted. In her death, afterwards, he builds the dream house to honor her. The house is done. He invites all his relatives to a housewarming party. They show up, and there's a lifelike statue of his deceased wife in the front of the house just waiting for them. It's a little crazy.
Yeah. It's very lifelike. Dude, it's like Madame Tussauds stuff. It's that woman in the pink. That's a statue.
Oh, that's too lifelike.
Yeah.
Oh, that's far too lifelike.
Yeah.
He said it was a great feeling to have my wife at home again.
I thought that was a real woman.
This was her dream home.
I was getting ready to see what the statue looked like, and that's been her this whole time.
I'm really sad for him and really upset at how deeply unnerved I am. But it's weird.
It's not normal.
Oh, music.
Oh.
I mean, okay. Look. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're dressing her. They're putting jewelry on her. Like, I thought this was going to be a statue.
If this was a statue, like a bronze statue, I think it's sweet.
Kinda, yeah.
What it's worth, that's what I thought it was going to be.
If this is this is where we're going with statues in the future, I'm out.
Yeah. I mean, okay, can I say something?
Can you show them, BBD? Do you have a way to put that video on the screen for them? I think the viewers deserve to see how weird this is.
If we're being honest, and in the trust tree, I mean, this is a step away from the Amazon link we just posted.
I didn't know you were going there.
So we've now got it on the screen. That woman in the pink and yellow dress now behind him, that's a statue.
The one that's not moving.
The one that looks like a real human being.
Like
He just put his arm around her.
I think you have to make statues bronze or copper.
That's not a statue. Like, I guess it is, but it's not.
Well, it's really like a wax figure.
It's a
but
wax.
It's silicone.
That's a replica.
That's a replica. That's a wax replica. I mean, like,
dude, I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm overtired. This is, I think in a normal day it would creep me out. This is like breaking my heart.
for him?
Yeah, like he lost his wife in a car accident, and like he's decided to cope with it this way.
Maybe he's been banging around, so this is his, like, I don't miss her.
He feels guilty.
Yeah.
Very unsettling. I don't know what's going on. Don't do that for me.
Let's stop calling those statues, because that's not a statue.
Replica.
It's a wax replica.
Silicone.
Silicone.
Whoa. Not into that. Would you pose with it? You know, like all.
Not in that pose. They did like a we're hanging out at the park.
But there's some cultures, I think there's some cultures where at the funeral they prop up the deceased and dress them in costumes and fun stuff. And
People do death very differently.
remember when that baseball player died and the other baseball player tweeted out a picture of his dead body like in the coroner's room, and he had to be told like, hey, in America we don't do that, but in his, who was it, Teoscar or something?
Forget.
And you ever seen that picture? It's crazy. They were pros. And, so people do it differently. So I understand the cultures are different. But that is nuts.
Yeah.
It's nuts. All right. Moving on. Getting off from that to this.
Bet of the day. It's the bet of the day. Bet of the day. Bet of the day.
Bet of the day. It's the bet of the day. Jakey made a... Hey, how come you said I was wrong here, BBD, when I agreed with him?
Good question.
I'm getting jobbed here.
Wow.
Jake did not make a mistakey. He takes the over in the Rangers and Mariners game. He gets it correct. I agreed with him. I got it correct. I am 2-2 on the week. I'm 3 for my last 3. Jake, you're 1-1. Can you salvage the week? Can you bring a victory to the people? What is your bet today?
I think since baseball started, 6-3, something like that. So when you're using words like salvage, I mean, it just feels a little dramatic. We're gonna win today, so we're gonna have another winning baseball week because that's all we've been doing with baseball.
I'm 6-3 since baseball started as well, but we're not the same 6-3. That's fun.
5-6. How about that? That's how it works sometimes. Okay, so we've got a little bit of slate of baseball. We're staying baseball, and that's obvious. Ooh, what are we gonna do here? Okay. Man, tricky slate of baseball today, Jimmy.
Not a lot going on.
Tricky slate of baseball. Not a lot of bets I like. Do I want to go there? No, I don't think so. You know what? I think I've got it. Pittsburgh Cincy. Our friend Trevor Williams is on the mound. He's still looking for it a little bit out there. Anthony DeScalfani. DeScalfani. I think we get runs today. The over-under is 9. I'm taking the over. Just don't believe in the pitching matchup enough. That's what got me there yesterday.
Both pitchers have been good.
The rest of the board is tough. I was looking at that Rays-Red Sox game. Kyle Hart's a rookie making his debut.
What's the over-under in this
one of
game?
2 ways. It's 9 runs. I don't know. I just see one of these teams putting a big number up today.
I think the Reds have scored like 8 runs in the last 3 games or something like that.
They're ready.
That's not true. There was some stat like that. I forget what it was.
There was a stat at some point.
Yeah.
Arguably.
Trevor Williams, 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run last game against the Twins. 2 earned runs before that, 3 earned runs before that. Disco hasn't allowed an earned run yet this season. I don't know. The under's looking good to me.
Do it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to take the under. First game of the series?
Yep.
I like that. 5-10 start?
5-10 start.
Is that their time as well? Are they East Coast time? Or is this game?
I think they're Centrale.
So is that a 4-10 start for them?
I believe so.
Is that Shadowville?
You might get a shadow.
Shadowville? Yeah, I'm sorry, Jake. I'm going to have to disagree with you
It's
here.
fine.
Jakey, about to make a big mistake.
I'm taking the under. I think Trevor Williams found something against the Twins.
Okay.
Disco hasn't allowed an earned run this season.
Don't call him Disco.
That's what they call him. That's what Reds fans told me they call him.
There's one Disco, and it's not this gentleman.
Ooh. Ooh. Someone said that that's Eastern time. So, cool.
And Cincy?
I don't know.
Cincinnati Eastern time?
Cincinnati.
Cleveland is, so.
Cincinnati is Eastern. How about that?
Because Luke, Miami of Ohio is Eastern time, and that's pretty
Right.
deep into there. I think it's like the latest part. So yeah, crazy.
How about that?
What does that mean? Does that mean it gets late? It gets dark later or
Less
earlier?
shadows, I think.
Less shadows, but
Darker
like.
earlier.
Their sundown would be later than ours.
So does it like 10 o'clock sundown in Cincinnati?
I don't think it's that dramatic.
Well, like at the latest days of the year for Lavalette's like 9 o'clock, and that's on the coast.
It's like 9:45.
Yeah,
That's
that probably
late.
gets in the lines, yeah.
I don't know
Cool.
where the line of where it technically becomes
Cincinnati's got-
sundown. Is it going to be? Is it when it's like actually dark, or
Cincinnati's got a lot of daylight.
it's not peak daylight?
Wouldn't have guessed. Pretty cool for them, if we have this right.
Sure.
Not sure if we do. All right, see you guys. Goodbye. We'll see you on Tuesday. That's when Jomboy and Jake Radio returns. In about half hour, we'll be live on Talking Baseball, previewing the games today, making our homework draft picks and all that. Love ya. Peace and chicken grease.